Okay, so let's get to it. My name is Klaus. I'm the CMO of eMarketeer. We're a proud SuperOffice not sponsor. Well, we are using SuperOffice, but partner at least since many years. And we share a lot of clients, eMarketeer and SuperOffice, that are using the marketing platform and the SuperOffice CRM really in an integrated fashion. So I'm going to share some of the experiences and cool things that you can do that you may not have known about until now. We're scheduled to be 45 minutes on the webinar or so, depending on how many questions you have. You'll see a questions box on your right-hand side of the screen. There's a GoToWebinar control panel. I really encourage you to use the questions box to get some dialogue going. If you have some good ideas, some questions, some inspiration that you think could be good for others, let me know and I can share it on the webinar. I will definitely stay on after the 45 minutes to just answer any questions you have. I did a webinar this morning as well. We went way over the hour with so many questions and inspirations. So let's see where this takes us. What we're going to talk about today on this webinar is really to discover some new tricks in eMarketeer and SuperOffice that you may not be aware of, and essentially get more out of both tools. And I think the primary focus today is to really bridge the gap or the chasm between marketing and sales, bringing even more information, even easier into the CRM tool, and making really the CRM the king of content and the hub of everything that has to do with customers, customer behavior, digital journey, events management. Really just opening the black box of marketing directly into the CRM system is what this is all about today. So let me dive right in. I'm gonna say we had another webinar earlier just a couple of days ago on lead management, which really takes you through the entire process of what it is eMarketeer and SuperOffice does so well together, right? So this is not that webinar. So this is more kind of tricks that you didn't know was possible, whereas the lead management webinar, which you will find on eMarketeer.com/webinars, go check that out if you're not familiar with what eMarketeer and SuperOffice can do together. Yeah, so just a little shameless plug for a previous webinar there. So today we're going to buckle up because we're going to cover a lot of different things. Some of it is going to be pretty high level, some of it is going to be really technical, but don't worry too much about where I click and what I type. You'll get the slides, you'll get the recording, and we're always standing by to help you out figuring out what you would like to, what it is that you would like to do. So we're just going to plow through a lot of different things to inspire you in different ways, and some of the ideas may pop back in your head and say, okay, this is what I want to do, and then check out the recording or the slides to figure out what did he do there. So just a few words about eMarketeer. We are a Swedish company based just outside Stockholm. We're born in 2002 as a cloud-based marketing automation platform, and we've integrated and partnered as a certified partner with SuperOffice since at least 8 years, I think. So we've worked together on several versions, on-prem, online, and so on. You'll find us in the SuperOffice App Store, both for our product eMarketeer and our brand new product Lead Explorer as well. The reason why we're here and what we're doing is we really want to have full transparency between what goes on the marketing side and what goes on in the CRM. So the primary focus of the company is to drive CRM adoption up, to get people motivated, engaged, and working with the CRM tool as much as possible. And a big component, we think, is to make it really easy for the people in the CRM system to check out what's going on in the other teams. For instance, everything that the customers and leads are doing across different marketing channels, mobile, email, websites, surveys, forms, landing pages, make it available inside SuperOffice. Same goes with the people that are visiting your website. Figure out who they are and show them as leads inside SuperOffice. So on one slide, what is our reason for being? It's for providing a very easy to use platform for the marketeers that integrates seamlessly into the CRM. End of story. All right, enough of that spiel. Let's get to the cool hacks and see what we can do with our tool. So I'm betting that you're familiar to some degree, at least, with eMarketeer. I'm very sure that you're quite familiar with SuperOffice. There may be areas, obviously, here you don't know. Just take this as an inspiration. The first thing that I'm going to look at is dashboards in SuperOffice. Dashboards has quickly become one of my favorite features in SuperOffice, and there are some pretty cool ways you can use dashboards with eMarketeer content as well. So I'm gonna show you how that's done. Already questions about the presentations, about the recording? Absolutely, you will get my slide deck, my recording, everything after the webinar in the follow-up email. So you don't have to take too many notes. All right, so moving on, dashboards in SuperOffice. So the dashboards in SuperOffice are where you can really put a lot of cool content in SuperOffice, and you can bring eMarketeer content into the dashboards as well, which is what I will show you. So I'm going to show you an example of bringing reports and evaluations, bringing in landing pages, and more cool stuff. So let's quickly go over to our SuperOffice and look at the dashboards. So on the left-hand side, obviously, you'll find the dashboards. Go full screen on this one. You'll find the dashboards, and on these dashboards, you can add more tabs. And you can bring web panels onto these dashboards. So just as you have your SuperOffice data that is displayed on the dashboard, you can bring eMarketeer data into the dashboards using web panels. So here is an example of an event evaluation sorry, my mouse has gone rogue on me and disappeared. There we go. I don't want to print anything. Here we are. So I've brought an event evaluation. So our customers participated in an event. I want to show the report of the event evaluation, so the results, to my colleagues in SuperOffice. I can just open up a new tab here on the dashboard, put in a web panel, and drop in my report directly from eMarketeer. And this report will always be up to date with the latest answers given to this report, given to this survey, and will always be up to date straight inside SuperOffice. So I don't have to shuffle back and forth Excel sheets or PowerPoint presentations with my event evaluation results. It just sits in the CRM, and I can tell my colleagues, just check out in SuperOffice. You'll see the report answers there. I can also use the dashboards for landing pages. So in this case, for instance, I've added a landing page for an event that we're going to do. This car dealer, Avenir, is going to do a big car show. So I've created a landing page for my colleagues that has all of the information about the event that they need to know, right? So on this landing page that I've created in eMarketeer, made available on the dashboard in SuperOffice, here is really the hub of information for my colleagues, right? So when is the event taking place? What does the event schedule look like? Who has booth duty on the different days? So John, Susan, and Amy, they need to open the booth at 10 when the show opens, and so on. Trade show floor plan, where we're going to be placed, which videos are we going to show on the booth, presentation material, who's going to be speakers, all this stuff that you can put on a landing page really easy, and just post that landing page onto a dashboard inside SuperOffice. So no more email strings going back and forth between the marketing team and sales and account managers going to the event. We simply make it available inside SuperOffice on the dashboard here. Let me just show you how I go about doing that. So if I just go into eMarketeer, here we are, and just find my car show. So here's my entire event that I've planned on the eMarketeer side. I've got my invitations, registrations, confirmations, apps and SMSs, everything I need to orchestrate this event. And as you can see, I've got an internal information page as well, which is the one you just saw inside SuperOffice. So I can build this page, and I can maintain all of the content right inside eMarketeer, and it will always be updated inside SuperOffice. So just showing you how to get something onto the web panel in the dashboard. Just quickly grab my URL, publish my landing page here, get the direct URL, and copy the URL. So basically, this is now the link to the landing page that I want to have inside SuperOffice. and I shift to SuperOffice, and I can create a new dashboard. Called Demo in Webinar. I'm going to choose a full screen there, add a new tile, and I'm going to select a web panel as the tile. I can give it my URL that I just grabbed from eMarketeer. I can make it visible to everybody in the organization so they can easily add it, and I'm going to call it Event Demo Webinar, just like that. Save that, and then a landing page will go on to the dashboard in SuperOffice. Very, very easy. And it's the same with the evaluation. I just create a shared report of my survey results, and it goes nicely and always up to date here. All right, so those were 2 examples of putting reports and putting a landing page onto the dashboards in SuperOffice, which is really neat instead of emailing back and forth. But again, this is just information. I'm making it available and helping people use the CRM as much as possible. Just go there, you will find the information. But I can do something even more cool. I can put in a form on the dashboard that will help me automate a lot of processes. Okay, so let's check that out. I'm going into SuperOffice again, and you will see here I have an order form on my dashboard. Again, this is a web panel showing a form that I've built in eMarketeer inside SuperOffice. But this form is pretty smart. As you can see, it has some contact fields down here. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. It has some contact fields, and they're already populated with my details, because SuperOffice obviously knows who's logged in. It's me. So I can reuse that information to pre-populate my form. Okay, so what this form is, it's a preparation for the event that we're doing, the car show, right? And in this form, my colleagues in sales, they can order different material and book different things straight in this form. So for instance, let's say I'm going to this event. I would like to have the event presentation deck, the Avenir presentation. I would like to have business cards. I'm running out, so I'd like to have business cards. A message pops up saying, please verify your contact details. These are the ones that will be printed on your business card. So, okay, that's nice to know. I can order some key hangers. That's nice. I would like 50 key hangers. Meeting room at the event booth, absolutely. I'd like to book a meeting with one of my clients, so I would like to reserve the meeting room. I can see it's already fully booked at 10, so I'll nick the 11 o'clock time slot. And event polo shirts, I can order that, so it brings up a size guide, and I'm probably an extra large, to be fair, so there you go. So as you can see, the form is dynamic. It can expand depending on what I choose, and then my details are already populated here. And then I just click send, and that form is sent off. All set, your order is being processed by the marketing team, and the order form sits still inside SuperOffice. Now, the really cool thing here, it's not just a stupid form that gathers information. First and foremost, it drives people into the CRM to make it the place of information. Second of all, depending on what I chose in these different questions or different form options there, eMarketeer can do a lot of stuff automatically. Let's say automatically send me the email with this latest presentation deck. Automatically email the reception with my business card print order, because they handle that. Automatically email the marketing student helper to start packaging key hangers and my event polo shirt, because I answered that. So eMarketeer can do all these different things depending on what the person has answered. All right, so how do we go about doing this? This is where we get a little nerdy maybe, or a little techie, but bear with me. I'm gonna talk nerdy. You'll get the slide, so you can just copy and nick the details you need here. So what we need to do here is basically, as it says here, use eMarketeer form as a web panel in SuperOffice. So set up a new dashboard in SuperOffice. You just saw how I did that. And then we are going to grab the URL of the form, and that's what you see down here. So I am taking my form URL. I'm making sure that it's the app eMarketeer.com version. If you use custom domains with eMarketeer, you want to make sure that it's app eMarketeer.com. Otherwise, it's not HTTPS. All right, so at the end of the form, all of this will go in automatically. And this is the bit that you want to add automatically. You want to paste that to the end of the URL that you put into the dashboard in SuperOffice, because what this does, it tells eMarketeer that the identity is an email, and it should use the email of the user who's currently logged into SuperOffice. This little bit here, just copy, paste it into the URL and put it into the web panel. You don't have to remember any of this. It tells the form that the person that should be pre-populated with information in the form is the person who's currently signed into SuperOffice. Done deal. Then the form will pre-populate with the content, and you will be able to automate the stuff that the form should do. So just let's go to eMarketeer again and go to the order form and see some of the automations that we could have lined up there that would happen automatically. So I have a campaign here called order form, and here's the form that you saw in SuperOffice, and I can go ahead and add automations here. So for instance, if we take the example of the business card, if he answered order business card, we would send a notification to the reception. So that is one of the automations we could set up here. So what this does is basically say, okay, send an email to reception@avenir.com when the order form has been answered in a specific way, namely that the person submitting the form ordered business cards. So an email would go off to the reception containing the details of the form, letting them know to order business card for the specific person. Easy. And you can add as many automations to a form, obviously, as you would like. So you can have a lot of different things happening at the same time automatically without doing anything else than just making the form available to your colleagues inside SuperOffice, right? I think that's pretty neat. I hope that you get the idea and that you can start thinking about ways to use this in your own scenario. Here's a question. How do you create these dashboards, or isn't it possible in SuperOffice 7.5? I hope that there are some SuperOffice users, super users, or maybe even some SuperOffice staff on the webinar today who can keep me honest. I'm not entirely sure that dashboards are available in 7.5. If they're not, maybe you could use web panels elsewhere in SuperOffice. For instance, when you click the SuperOffice button up here, you can also add web panels to this area up here, which would be available to the users in SuperOffice as well. So if you don't have dashboards in 7.5, check out if you can add web panels to the SuperOffice logo, and this is where you could create your web panels then there. So those are our two options. When you put web panels up here, you can also have buttons going to these web panels. For instance, you'll see the marketing overview web panel up here. I can actually create a button that links to this one. So when I click this button, marketing, it opens up the marketing overview and shows me the landing page that I have here. This is the marketing overview we do in eMarketeer with all of our activities and events. Unfortunately, as you could imagine, all of the spring events here, they've been canceled. But here's where we list the events that we're going to. We link to the invites and to the event landing pages, and we show our slide decks that we're going to use. So this is a great way for the rest of the organization to be in tune with what we're planning around marketing activities. So I hope that answered the question about the web panels there. So if you can't do it on dashboards, maybe you can do it on the SuperOffice logo up here and add your web panels there. All right, so here's a question. Here's an answer or an inspiration from Peter. He says, panels are only available using the web browser versions, not the app. So if you're on the Windows app of SuperOffice, that probably won't fly. But I will believe that the web versions of even on-prem and certainly online would work here. But again, SuperOffice, keep me honest here. I'm not a super user. I'm just a marketing guy here. All right, so those are a couple of examples of how you can use web panels on dashboards or on the SuperOffice button to show some cool content inside SuperOffice and make it easily available for your colleagues. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, which is minicards, which is a a gem in SuperOffice, really a Swiss Army knife of things that you can do on the mini cards. The mini cards is this area over here. Oh, sorry, I'm terrible at drawing. This area over here that can be used for a lot of different things. A lot of things are built into SuperOffice in the mini cards, and you can elaborate and expand on the mini cards as well. We're going to look at what I call trigger forms, some landing pages, and some other cool features that you can add in the mini card. First of all, trigger forms. Trigger forms are kind of what you just saw on the web panel on the dashboard, where I put the order form. That's kind of a trigger form. But when I put them on a mini card, it takes on another feature, another function that I really like. I think of it as a remote control for the people using SuperOffice, a remote control to the marketing platform. By using trigger forms on the mini card, you really give control to the people using SuperOffice over the automations and the things that you've set up in eMarketeer without them even having access to eMarketeer, right? So they stay in SuperOffice, they do their thing, and they make a lot of stuff happen on the marketing side. So it's like giving them a remote control. For instance, let's say that when you've had a meeting, you should send out a meeting evaluation. So you could set up the trigger form to handle that process. So when you use the trigger form, it will send the evaluation invitation, a link to the invitation survey, the evaluation survey, and then automatically send follow-up material based on how they answer the evaluation. Answer reports and notifications and stuff like that should also be automated back into SuperOffice. And all of this is possible by just giving that trigger form, making that trigger form available to your users. So let me show you in SuperOffice what that could look like. So I'm going to go on to a company here and just reshuffle it a little bit here. And then you can see on the mini card, I can choose different things. So these are all a lot of the built-in things like your calendar, your favorites, notepad, selection, members, really nice to have in the mini card as well. And these ones up here are web panels that I've added to the mini card. So I have one called eMarketeer Marketing Processes, for example, and this is kind of my trigger form. So this, again, the form understands who I have chosen in my contacts archive here. So if I choose Michael, Michael will be pre-populated up here. If I choose Klaus, Klaus will be pre-populated up here. So that's the easy part, getting the data in there. Then up here, I've got choose actions. I've got send meeting evaluation, send white paper, or register for roadshow. Now, needless to say, whatever your kind of process looks like, you could add that to this form. These are just examples. So for instance, with the send meeting evaluation, I click that one and I could simply hit send. Then the form will tell eMarketeer, okay, send the meeting evaluation to Klaus with the link to the evaluation. And the evaluation, when that's filled out, it will report back into SuperOffice that it's done, so you could see the results in there. So again, this kind of remote control that you give to your colleagues. I could also say, well, I want to send some marketing material because I know we've got some stuff going on, and I want to send a white paper campaign around product A to this person, and then just click send. Then that would trigger a campaign to start in eMarketeer that would send the relevant material and any follow-up emails to this person that are a part of the white paper campaign for that. Or I could register this person for a roadshow. So let's say we're going on a sales roadshow, and I want to say, okay, we're going to book the 9 o'clock time on the roadshow for this person. I can do that and send that off, and then the 9 o'clock time slot will be fully booked and won't be possible to select again. So this is just some examples of things you could put into a trigger form and have some stuff happen automatically in eMarketeer based on what you do here. So it's really easy for the SuperOffice users. They are still in their known environment here, but they can actually make stuff happen in the marketing platform without ever leaving SuperOffice. So that's one way to use the mini card. Another way, and kudos goes to Rono in Finland from DB Manager, who came up with this and showed me this at a conference some time ago. He built an SMS form that I really like, and we've kind of stolen the idea, so thanks for that. And what this does, it's also basically just a form you've created in eMarketeer, but it has an automation with an SMS attached to it. So as you can see, I can select a person here, and the contact details up here will change. And I can write my SMS here. This one says, "Hi, Klaus, looking forward to meeting you at the Avenir Car Show. Should we do lunch at 12? So this is me typing in the SMS, and I've got the contact details there. Now, when I click send, the form captures the details here, and it schedules the SMS to be sent, and it also reports back to SuperOffice when the SMS has been sent. So it's really nice and a cool way of doing it. Let me just show you how it's set up on the eMarketeer side of things. So I've got SMS app and SuperOffice campaign here. So here's the form, right? So it's a very basic form. You just saw it inside SuperOffice. It has an email address, mobile phone number, and then it's got a field called SMS text. And SMS text basically just stores the stuff you put in there in a note field on the contact person in eMarketeer, right? So now we have the data on a note field in eMarketeer. And then we've created an SMS that is actually empty inside eMarketeer. The only thing it contains is a merge field to the note field. So you go to personalize, and here you have all of the merge fields. You have a note field somewhere there. That's all I did. I inserted the note field and saved the SMS. So now we've got the SMS with the note merge field in it. And I'm going to tell eMarketeer, please send this SMS, send SMS, when send the SMS here, when the form SMS app is submitted, right? So the form in SuperOffice captures the SMS text that I want to send, and eMarketeer grabs that, sends the SMS to the recipient, and reports back to SuperOffice when it was sent and what the content of the SMS was. So I just thought that was a fun and interesting way to use a trigger card to create a little SMS app that you can make available inside SuperOffice. And the neat thing as well there with the SMSs, when they arrive, they're personalized. So the company name is shown as the sender, and you've got the text there. "Hi, Klaus, looking forward to meeting you at the Avenir Car Show tomorrow. Should we do lunch at 12? Best regards, Klaus." Apparently, I'm sending SMSs to myself. So this is how isolation and quarantine has affected me. So that's another way of using the mini card to make content available and processes available to your friends there. So now this differs obviously from the order form in the sense that now it takes people in my contact list here in SuperOffice instead of me, the person who's logged in. So just to have a quick look at how that's done. Basically, it's the same thing. So I grab the form URL from eMarketeer. So just as before, I grab the form URL. This is the form identity, and that I add this bit at the end here. And what this tells SuperOffice is that it should grab the active person's email address and put into the form, right? So SuperOffice knows whom I'm focusing on in SuperOffice on the contact archive, and it can pre-populate the form with that information. So how do I go about getting all of this in? Let me show you. So first of all, I'm gonna go to eMarketeer, publish my URL, get the URL. So here's the form URL. I copy that. And then you want to make sure to add these bits to it, right? So these bits needs to be added to the URL. And then inside SuperOffice, in order to get something on the mini panel up here, you need to go to, and you may not have access here. It may need an admin or a super user to get access here, but I'm just showing you what's possible, and then you can always figure out if it's right for your organization. So you go into the settings and maintenance, which opens up. And here on the lists, you will find something called GUI web panels. All right. And here I can add a new web panel. Webinar web panel. I can paste in my URL from eMarketeer, including the personalization add-ons there. Just give it a name, a mini web panel. And then I make it visible on the mini card. Here's where you make web panels available on different places in SuperOffice, on the person card, on the company card, on the SuperOffice logo, on the navigator panel. You'll find all of these locations there. But in this case, I'm going for the mini card. So that's basically it. Type in the URL, give it a name, and then save. Now, when that is updated, I can go back to SuperOffice, do a quick refresh, and I should see webinar web panel. There we are. There's my form. So that's how you get a web panel onto the mini card in the settings and maintenance panel there. So again, you may not have access to the settings and maintenance, but now you know that it's possible at least. Here's another question. Can you show the form from the trigger card, not the SMS, but the one you showed before? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm guessing the process, the marketing process form, this was the one. Let me know, Puck, if this is the right one or you're talking about the order form. I'll be happy to show both, but I'll just show you this one as it does somewhat the same thing. So let's go back to eMarketeer and find the form here. I think it's in the meeting evaluations campaign. Yeah, here we are. So this is the form. I'm going to edit it. And here it is. So I'm just going to zoom in just a little bit here. So here are the actions: send meeting evaluation, send white paper, register for roadshow. Here are the sub actions I can do: choose white paper, slots, and the contact information. And the way I show and hide these, I use form rules. So for instance, send white paper. If I choose that, I should be able to see which white papers to choose. I use display rules in here. So I'm saying to eMarketeer, this question, choose white paper, should only be displayed. I've zoomed in, that's why it behaves a little bit funny here. So display this question when the answer to choose action is white paper, right? So I can decide which questions gets shown and which questions gets hidden in the forms. So I don't show a massive form, I just show the first couple of actions, and then depending on what they choose there, I can elaborate and show more and more of the form options there. That's also what I did on the order form when that t-shirt sizing guide showed up. That's because they chose to get the event polo. So Puck, I hope that answered the question. Let me know if you would like to have some more elaboration on that. In the meantime, I'll go back to SuperOffice and show some more stuff you can do with the mini card. So these are the trigger forms or eMarketeer forms that you put into SuperOffice web panels on the mini card, and you attach that identity variable at the end so that the form can recognize who I've chosen down here. You can put some other stuff on the mini card as well. In many events, you do a mobile app for the event. Why not make the mobile app available on the mini card as well? That has a lot of information about the event, location, agenda, all this stuff. You've built it for the customers. You might as well make it available to your colleagues inside SuperOffice as well. So this is an app that's supposed to run on a mobile phone, but making it available on the web panel, exactly like I just showed, you can share it with your colleagues as well. The internal landing page that I showed on the dashboard before, you could also put that on here on the mini card. So again, this is normally a landing page that's supposed to run in a really big window, but when you make it small, it adapts. So it goes into kind of a mobile state here. And you have all of the information from the big landing page available on the mini card. So depending on what type of information you're doing, what kind of content that you want to share with your sales team, the mini card can be a really good place. One thing that was pretty creative was that I saw a customer did was the sales and the marketing and the key account managers, they'd done some workshops on talking points for different products, right? So depending on how the sales talk goes, when you call the customers on the phone, they had different kind of speaking points or talking points that they wanted the salespeople to focus on. So what they did is they put these focus points on a landing page inside the mini card on accordions. Let's just see if I have any accordions. Scrolling. Yeah, here. So accordions are nice because they can be opened and closed like this. So depending on which direction the sales conversation went in, they could look at the different speaking points directly within SuperOffice while they were on the phone with the customer and setting up their follow-up activities and all this stuff. So this was a really creative way of doing it. And again, once you've put a web panel into SuperOffice, when you update the content on that web panel in eMarketeer, it automatically updates over here as well. So that was a pretty smart way of using the mini card there. You can also put the eMarketeer timeline on the mini card if you're familiar with the eMarketeer timeline. You can also put that one on the mini card. So I'm looking at Klaus here. So now the mini card shows me the digital timeline for him. Profile information, I can link to his social profiles, his biography from LinkedIn, and all of the interaction he's had with our marketing material. For instance, the order form that I just submitted, the SMS from SuperOffice, anything that has happened on the marketing side can be seen on the timeline here. Hi, looking forward to meeting you at the Avenir Car Show. That was the SMS. So the timeline is another neat thing to put on the mini card if you want to. I think that covers the mini card with what I wanted to show here. Let me know if you have any questions about how to put stuff on the mini card, what the eMarketeer timeline is. Just let me know in the questions box, and I'll be happy to circle back to some of these points there. All right, so let's move on to some other areas. Project links and projects in general. Projects in SuperOffice is a really nice way to organize projects, obviously, activities, events, surveys, sales pushes, anything that has to do with people and a lot of activities and sales that you would like to track back to the same thing. Projects is the go-to tool there. Again, SuperOffice folks, sorry if I'm messing up the wording or the positioning of products. That's how we use it anyways. So the cool thing about projects, the built-in functionality makes it possible, as mentioned, to gather project members and all of the activities that are associated with the project and all of the sales that are associated with the project in one nice order, in one nice place. And with the project links, you can put in a whole bucket of other information that resides outside SuperOffice, but that really belongs inside the SuperOffice ecosystem for our salespeople and key account managers to have a look at. So what we do there is let's go into SuperOffice and go to our project. Here is an event project. So just as you are familiar with, you've got your event details here. I've got a project guide maybe, I've got my project members, these are the persons that I've invited, that have participated to the event, whatever it is that this project is around. Got my activities, a lot of these are automatically generated by eMarketeer based on registrations and evaluations. And I've got links over here. Links are a great way, easy way to share information with the people inside SuperOffice. So for instance, I'm gathering some of the event material like the event app, the event invitation, the registration report, and the evaluation report. I just want to make that available together with all of the other stuff that relates to the project, like the activities and the sales and so on. So I simply put links in here. Just let me grab one link from eMarketeer and show you how I put it into the event project links. So let's go back to the campaign. And let's say I wanted to share the landing page link there as well. So I go into my event and grab my landing page link there. So I got my link from eMarketeer, and inside SuperOffice, I simply click edit, and I can add a new link. I'm gonna call this, put in event. There we go, and save. And now you see a new event, a new link here. And basically, when the SuperOffice user clicks the link, a new tab will open and it will show whatever is behind the link. So in this case, it's the invitation. How does the invitation look? The event mobile app, how does that look? Okay, so just I'm getting familiar with all the different components. So if I having let's say one of my customers registered for the event and they're getting the app on the phone and they're calling me as their key account manager, asking me, I don't understand, what's the your badge for in the app? And you can just go into SuperOffice, go into the project and open up the app and see what's in there. So you don't have to contact marketing or somebody else externally to figure out what we've sent out and what we've put into the hands of the customers. It's all inside SuperOffice. Event registration report, no need to call and ask how many people signed up for the event. The registration is there. Obviously, you would also put the registrants into the project members automatically with eMarketeer, no problem there. But I'm just showing you ways where you can put information into SuperOffice to stop people from going elsewhere to figure out this information and to save your sanity playing email ping pong with your colleagues, sending them tons of stuff with new attachments all the time that are outdated the second you've sent them. So better keep things online, keep things up to date all times, and just make the CRM the place where you put the information that's important to the people. Let's see, here's a question from Jan. You showed accordions. I can't find that as a module in the eMarketeer mail tool. That is absolutely right, Jan. You can't do everything in an email. So there are things you can do with HTML that works on a website or a landing page or a mobile app that doesn't really work in an email. So the accordions that I showed you aren't available in the email editor. They're only available when you build landing pages and apps inside eMarketeer. So you're right about that. You won't find the accordions in the app. So let's go into the landing page, for instance. The same editor, so it looks the same, but this is a page, a web page that we're editing. And down here, somewhere on the event, you've got the accordions. And here you can edit them. So say, what should the headline be? And what should the content of the accordion be when it opens up? And you won't find this block in the email editor because it doesn't work in email, this type of I think maybe it's JavaScript or something like that that opens up and closes the accordion there, and that doesn't fly in an email editor. So you will have some blocks in your editor that are specific to emails and some blocks that are specific to landing pages and mobile apps. I hope that answered that question, Jan. Okay, cool, excellent. So we've been through a lot of different places in SuperOffice where we believe adding content that is always up to date to make it easier to communicate with your SuperOffice users there. So we've got the left-hand panel here where you can put shortcuts to web panels that open up inside the big browser to give people an overview. You've got dashboards or other web panels where you can put order forms that makes things happen automatically. You can put reports to be shared, and you can put landing pages on several different places inside SuperOffice just to make it easy to communicate with your people there. And then the upside here is obviously having eMarketeer in the background with all the automation capabilities that can send SMSs and emails and update interest codes and put people into selections and create tasks and sales and whatnot inside SuperOffice. So you don't compromise that everything that happens should go back into SuperOffice when it's relevant. It still does with all the automations. If you're not familiar with the automations, just let me go into eMarketeer real quick and show you all the automations you can do here. So again, here's our event, invitation, registrations, all of that. And by saying add automations, I can show you all of the things you can have happen automatically. So on the eMarketeer side, you can send emails, SMSs, update lists, update the contact, update GDPR settings like legal basis and consent, subscriptions, and so on. And on the right-hand side, this is everything you can do towards the SuperOffice CRM. Create a new sale, create a new task, create and notify a sales rep in SuperOffice, add and remove from selections, add and remove people from projects, and update interest codes on contacts. So all of these things can happen automatically whenever something is triggered inside eMarketeer. So when a link is clicked, when a form is answered, when a specific answer is given, all of that stuff you can track. You can have things happen automatically towards SuperOffice. All right. Now there's one last thing. We've got a couple of minutes left. One last thing that I want to show you that is inside SuperOffice, which is Lead Explorer. Lead Explorer is our newest product from eMarketeer, and it enables you to really grab your people, the people that are visiting your websites, the company that are visiting your website, and put them into the hands of the users of SuperOffice. So basically turning anonymous website visits into leads that can be worked on inside SuperOffice. And how that's done is you will find when you've installed Lead Explorer, available for SuperOffice Online, go find it in the App Store. You'll find a Lead Explorer button on your left-hand panel over there, and that will open Lead Explorer inside SuperOffice. Lead Explorer has a little script on your website that looks at the companies that are visiting your website. So it looks at their IP address, their domain name, and more. And with our algorithms, we're trying to figure out which company is this, have they been here before, how much information can we gather around these companies, right? So they don't have to have filled out a newsletter sign-up form or a contact us form. They've simply been on your website, and we will try to identify who they are. So the first thing you'll see is a list of leads on your website. Who's been on the site? When were they there? Can we grab a logo? Have they been here before? What did they do? Do we have somebody assigned to them? And what is their engagement score? Engagement score means how many pages have they visited? For how long were they here? Have they been here before? And then we create a lead score based on that. So from the leads list, you can dive into a company dashboard to look at a specific company. You get some geography of their offices, how much time they've spent on your website, what they're interested in based on what they're looking at and searching for. If we have them in SuperOffice, we can see our sales and open sales. We can see the visits they've done to your site, whom we have in eMarketeer from this company, and what they've done in eMarketeer across different marketing channels. So a lot of information is gathered here about the company that has visited your website. You can also dive into a visit to see exactly what happened during this visit. So they came in through Google, they went to the homepage, they read about email marketing, they looked at pricing, and then they left the website. So this is good information for me as a salesperson before I contact them. They're actually pretty interested since they've been on the pricing page and they've looked at email marketing. So that gives me some idea about what topics I could be talking to this customer about. So that's the company dashboard that you can get from the web leads lists. Pretty cool. On the live view, you can see the companies that are visiting your website right now, where they are geographically, and what they're doing on your site. So this company is looking at the pricing page right now, and I can see the other companies that are also on the site, and I can click through to go directly to their company dashboard. So that's another way of giving your SuperOffice users superpowers with regards to knowing who's on your website, and from the Lead Explorer interface here, they can, if the customer or the company doesn't exist in SuperOffice, like we can see here, I can click to create the company in SuperOffice and link it together with Lead Explorer here. So I just wanted to let you know that is a possibility as well, and one of the cool hacks that you can do. So Lead Explorer built for SuperOffice, but also built for large screens. So you can put the live view on a large screen on the sales floor so people can see a live representation of the companies visiting your website. And obviously it works on mobile as well, so that you can figure out leads from your website while you are traveling or out for meetings when we are allowed to go anywhere again after the current situation has eased up. All right. So if you're interested in Lead Explorer, head over to the SuperOffice App Store and check out Lead Explorer there. It is very easy to get started, and you get a free trial with as many leads as you need to figure out if this is something for you. All right, I've spent my time. I'll be happy to get some more questions from you from the questions box. I will keep on answering for as long as needed here. I'll just let you know that if you think this looks very hairy and difficult, you are not alone. You've got the SuperOffice partners and resellers of eMarketeer. You've got the eMarketeer support and consulting team. We're all here to help you out making the most value of SuperOffice and eMarketeer as well. If you've got those two to really make that project fly. So don't be intimidated by what may look like too much. This is not a technical project. This is a creativity project. How can you make the most of the things that you have and make SuperOffice the place of information for your colleagues? All right, here's a question from Helle. Can you put a link to a newsletter into a project? I can make it work for a form, but where do I find the URL for the newsletter? Great question, Helle. Very easy to do. When you are in eMarketeer, you go into your campaign, car newsletter. It doesn't have to be a newsletter, of course. It can be any campaign email, just basically any email. And what Helle wants to do is she wants to link from a project to that email so that her colleagues can see how it looks. So when you are in your email, here it is, welcome email. I've got a little feature over here. Just let me zoom in a little bit. Over here, Helle, I've got share work in progress, right? When I click that, I get a URL. That URL will take me to an online version of the email. There you go. And this you can share on the project as a project link. Obviously, you could also send the email to yourself, click the read in your web browser and grab that link and put that into the project, but this is the quickest way to do it. So that's how it's done. If you use dynamic content like dear first name or other dynamic content blocks, obviously it won't be dynamic since this email has no recipient. So if you have something that's depending on the specific recipient, that won't show. So, but this is a quick and easy way to get your email link into the project link. I hope that answered that question, Helle. Let's see. Here's a question from Lotte. How do I know if I have access to Lead Explorer? Same login as to SuperOffice. No, it's not the same login. The first thing you'll have to do is take a look in your SuperOffice and do you see Lead Explorer over there on your left-hand column? If that's not there, maybe your company is not running Lead Explorer. If you are running Lead Explorer, you need your own login. So you need somebody who's set up Lead Explorer to invite you to use Lead Explorer. It's very easy to do. Just let it load here for a little sec, and you can invite other users from the Lead Explorer interface. And the reason is that everybody who uses Lead Explorer is unique, and that's why you can assign leads to specific users inside Lead Explorer as well. So on the settings page, you have users. And here you can see I've got 3 users in this account, and I can click here to invite a new user. So you would have to have somebody using Lead Explorer with admin rights to invite you as a user, and then you could log in here. So I hope that answered that question, Lotte. And here's a question. Here's a follow-up question from Helle. It only works for 24 hours. That was the share work in progress link. Actually, the share work in progress link does continue to work. It's not only visible for 24 hours. I actually think we updated the mention here as well. So there's a preview notice saying that it may look out of context if you're using dynamic content, that's all. But it works fine this way as well. So you can continue to use this link on your project, Helle. No more questions. I will thank you for your time. It was a hoot to have you here. If your place is anything like mine, I have a lot of sun and blue sky outside. So 10 minutes brisk walk, get some sun and fresh air in your face, and let these ideas sink in. And if you have any feedback to me, let me know what you think. And if you have some challenges with some of the stuff we've covered, check out the recording and let us know how we can help you out. All right. Have a great day. Hope to see you at an upcoming webinar in the near future. Bye-bye, everybody.